And now I'm unmuted. Yay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Curvy Critic with Carla Renata. I'm sorry I'm a little late today. Sometimes I get there and sometimes I don't. I'm juggling a million things right now, but thank you so much for joining me. Um, let's see. I know that Brandon was in the chat room earlier. I doubt that he's here right now. Oh, he is here. Hey, Brandon. Thank you. You are so sweet for joining me. And I'm sure everybody else will catch this another time. But if this is your first time joining me, please give me a big old thumbs up to let me know that you are here. And this is what we do here at the Curvy Critic with Carla Renata. We talk about movies. I review films and I speak to people in the industry that are below the line and above the line in the film industry. I have a jam-packed show for y'all today. It's jam-packed. Let me get back a little bit. I'm a little too close and move my hat around a little bit. Yes, I have on a hat. It is a situation today. I'm looking crazy, but y'all will work with a sister. So anyway, let me tell you, I always start the show out with what my week was like the week before. And so this week was really kind of busy. As I've told y'all, I am in Arkansas doing in rehearsals for Designing Women. So it's been a whole bunch of that going on. I'm in tech rehearsal for that. And it's been a situation, but we getting it together. The Emmys happened last night and it was Emmys so white. Not one single solitary Black person won an Emmy last evening. So people are feeling some kind of way about that. I just want to say with my Designing Women cast, one of our cast members, Elaine Hendricks, is dipping out. And Tanya Walker, one of my friends, is dipping in. And y'all might remember Tanya from One Life to Live in General Hospital. She played Olivia Jerome on General Hospital. So she's going to be joining us. Can't wait for that. I attended a Wonder Years event, which was sponsored through ABC. It was really wonderful. So they've rebooted the Wonder Years from the 70s, and they have Fred Savage directing it. Saladin Patterson is the executive producer along with Lee Daniels, and they have a stellar cast that is led by Sekon Senglo and Dule Hill. You guys are going to love it. If you love the first one, you're going to love it this time too, because we got chocolaticity in the house. I'm all about the chocolaticity. And it was my birthday this week, and I got the best birthday present ever. So I forgot to say this weeks and weeks ago, but remember I told y'all I was nominated for a Capital Cities Web Award? Well, I won. I won the Capital Cities Web Award for Best News Entertainment Show. I was so excited, and I've been nominated for another one for I think it's called the Best Black Film TV Podcast for the second annual Black Pod Awards. They will announce their winners on September 26th. Now, I sent them a little note saying, my podcast isn't audio, because they were submitting the stuff from Black Hollywood Live, and Black Hollywood Live hasn't been live since July of 2020, and this is September of 2021. So all of my stuff has been living on YouTube. But hopefully people will listen to the old stuff and they'll like it. And maybe I'll win that and maybe I won't, but I'll support all the people that are nominated. But you can see the results of that on Sunday, September 26th on YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitter page for the Black Pod Awards. So I had my milestone birthday in Arkansas, and that was really lovely. So let's get into it, shall we? Let me see what Brandon is talking about. I keep moving my mouse around because I'm doing this today by myself because I was a little late, a little tardy to the party, so to speak. But Brandon was saying to me, he always gives me nice messages. So he was saying that there was a lot of animation news today, and he saw a trailer for a new Marvel animated show that might top What If and Invincible. Okay. And then he also told me that that's from StreamYard. Oops. Anyway, y'all, it's a situation. But he also told me that he can't wait for the next What If. So those are my messages from my boy Brandon. He loyal. He is die-hard loyal. So you guys, I did the tail end of the Toronto International Film Festival. I'll talk about that a little later on. But one of the films that was playing during the festival, which is now streaming on Netflix, is called The Starling. And it stars Melissa McCarthy and Chris O'Dowd, who I absolutely adore. This film deals with a couple who is grieving the loss of their child, their first and only child, and they're having a hard time figuring out what that's going to look like moving into the future. And it's tough to watch. It's really tough to watch. It's directed by Ted Melfi. And this is the first time they've all worked together again since they worked on St. Vincent, which was a film that starred Bill Murray. So it was really good. What I loved about this is that it showed grief from a very different vantage point. And this is a film that is based off of a book originally. So a lot of people loved the book like they normally do, but they hated the movie. I kind of liked the movie because it was nice for me to watch Melissa and Chris do drama because we're so used to seeing them be funny. I love watching Melissa McCarthy do drama. I think she's so good at it. And the same goes for Chris. And then you could just feel the love and the warmth on the screen because they're directed by Ted, and it was like a family reunion. So I have interviews with all three of them. So I will start out by letting you take a look and a listen to this interview with Melissa McCarthy and Chris O'Dowd from the Starling. Hi, Chris and Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Carla. How's it going?
It's going good, y'all. It is going really good after I saw y'all in this movie. I'm just saying.
Oh, thank you.
I got my stars behind me to represent Starling. Got all dressed up for you. But listen here. This film, it gutted me to the core a little bit because I always felt like the bird, the little starling bird, was a representative of Katie in the big scheme of things, right? So having said that, have you ever felt like somebody that you've loved and lost came back in some other form to like give you a message or just, let you know that everything's all good? And I'll start with Melissa first.
I grew up with my great grandmother, lived with us. And in my head, I feel like she was there until my 20s, but really I think I was in second or third grade when I lost her. And I remember very vividly like being upset about it and feeling her in the room. That absolutely was just like, okay, come on, now let's move. Like she was just there. Kind of, I just felt something that I knew, oh, she's okay. And she probably doesn't want me to like kind of linger in this. And I felt it when my grandma passed too. I had a very strong feeling of that, which gives me great comfort.
We oddly, we definitely had and still have this idea that a robin redbreast seems to join family gatherings since my granny died must be 10, 12, 13 years ago now, and still seems to pop up. I mean, it's where we live, there are lots of robin redbreasts. So if it was a flamingo, like it would be, but still it still feels comforting and soothing. And why not? Who knows?
Yeah,
absolutely. Who knows? Now, I know this is, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first time you guys have teamed up or worked with each other since St. Vincent, with each other and with Ted, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So how is it to having this little mini family reunion?
Oh, it's great. I mean, there's a reason you don't go back and work with the same people again and again because you're like, oh, boy, they're tough. Like, I don't like their work. I don't like them. It's like, that's not why you keep, trying to grab the same people back. So it was delightful. And we could laugh together. We could also be quiet and get through some of the rougher moments and feel supported, and I don't know, it was good in so many different ways.
I mean, I would agree. I mean, it just feels like a lot of vulnerable stuff happens in the film, and you want to feel like you're around people that you can do that with. And also, I think, and Melissa, maybe it's the Irish thing, but there's definitely a touch of, well, how do we make something light out of an awful moment? And and she's so freaking good at that.
Yes, she is.
And open to it. So so that always a pleasure. And Ted's such a sweetheart. And a big
star. Yeah. I want to say this before I wrap up this interview with y'all. I know y'all both straddle that line of comedy and drama, and I've seen you both do it excellently well, but I'm about to cry. Oh, okay, wait. But I really love it when y'all lean into this dramatic easy kind of, not easy, but this dramatic way of telling a story, because it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And I think that comedy is really hard, but I think people that do comedy and are exemplary at it are really wonderful at doing drama. And I think both of you excel at that. And I wanted to make sure I let you know.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
That's
Thank
so
you.
nice of you. Thank you for that.
Well, y'all know, I don't say nothing to be kind and nice. I say it because I mean it. So there's that.
I know that to be true.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you next time.
All right,
Bye.
see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye. I really did mean what I said. I love Melissa McCarthy. I think she is a freaking goddess no matter what she does. And I love Chris O'Dowd too. But before I get too swept up into talking about them, let me let y'all listen to this interview with Ted Melfi, the director of the Starling. Critic. Hi, Ted.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the music, because I'm not sure who the person is that's singing, but there was this one lyric in the beginning where she says something about the simple sound of morning that makes me feel alive. I love that. And I think that's such a great theme for the film, considering the subject matter. What is it that makes you feel alive? And can you tell me who that person is and where you found them?
Well, first of all, that's Nate Roos of the band, formerly of the band Fun. So he's a Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter. Nate and I had a beer in Sherman Oaks at the Pineapple Hill Saloon
Of
2
course
years
you did.
2 years ago, which is a dive bar in Sherman Oaks. And I said, I gave him the script. He loved it. He has 2 children, 2 young children. He's like, this touched my spirit and my soul so much. And I said, would you please write a song? Would you please write a song for us? He's like, I'll write as many songs as you want. He ended up only having time to write the one, but The Simple Sound of the Morning is such a beautiful, beautiful melody and beautiful message for the movie. I think all the music in the movie works that way. I mean, I think the opening music by the Lumineers, Isabel Fly, is such a stunning song. And then Brandy Carlisle wrote this beautiful song for us as well. And then mixed with our composer, Ben Wallfish, who did Hidden Figures with me. And I've known Ben for years and I love Ben. Ben did a 50-piece orchestra at Abbey Road in London, and he remotely directed it from Santa Monica, and I was remotely watching from Massachusetts, and there were 50 musicians in a composing room in London. So the musical journey of this movie was beautiful, and I think the music came out so wonderfully.
It absolutely did. And this is your reteaming with Melissa and Chris since St. Vincent, right? So what made you reach back to them and go, hey, come do this movie with me?
Well, you always want to be around people you love and respect. And those two, I really love and respect them both as artists and as human beings. We have a lot in common. We all have children. We all love comedy. We all are honest and real and hopeful. I think what attracts me most to Chris and Melissa is they have a similar philosophy that life is good. Life is hopeful. There's light at the end of the tunnel, the proverbial tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And so we just get along. We're like a family in a way. Melissa's like a cousin to me, or a sister you talk to. They're just good people. Like, they're just good people. They're not, Melissa's not the private jet person. Melissa's like got 2 kids, going to volleyball practice. That's Melissa. And the same thing with Chris. So we're all like everybody else. We're just trying to get better.
Yeah, that energy kind of comes across throughout the project. You know what I mean? And the last thing I want to talk to you about is that, this film helps us to recognize that depression is something that, if we're just dealing with being honest about our own life and not quitting on the people that we love, it will eventually turn out okay. Would you agree that's pretty much the message of this film?
Yeah, I've gone through my own mental health bouts over the years with depression and anxiety, and so I really relate to that, and I really understand it. And I've been in therapy for 20-something years. And all of us, Chris and Melissa, have had their own things that they've gone through. Everyone's experienced mental health. issues on some point in their life. And you know what? We still don't talk about it. We still think, oh, it's not cool to talk about. And here's a movie that like puts face front, like right in front of you. This is a guy who experienced a tragedy and is taking a mental time out to deal with it. And he's a man, and maybe that's not cool, or maybe that's not strong, but it is what it is. It's necessary. If we don't deal with our mental health, my therapist always says something to me: everywhere you go, there you're going to be. I'm like, what? I'm like, everywhere you go, there you're going to be. I'm like, that's a good one. It's like, so like, if you don't deal with it now with this person, when you get to this next person, it's going to be there. Because guess who's going to be there? You're going to be there. Right. And so that's what the movie's about. Teaching you, learning, and showing you that if you don't deal, it just shows up. So there's no way out but through.
I love that. Everywhere you go, you're going to be.
Everywhere you go, there you're going to be.
There you're going to be. I love that.
It's a good one.
I think that is the perfect way to end. I don't even want to ask another question because it can't get any better than that. Thank you so much, Ted, for taking time to talk to me today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Everywhere you go, there you're going to be. I'm right there with you, Ted Melfi. Thank you so much, Melissa, Chris, and Ted. And you guys, again, The Starling is streaming on Netflix right now. Now, another film that opened last weekend, which was part of the Toronto International Film Festival, is a film called Blue Bayou. And the last time I talked to Justin Chon, he had just come out with a film called Gook, and he was coming off of the whole Twilight movie franchise. And his movies are always just, they're really, really wonderful. But I spoke with him about that, and he had a few things to say. He was a little low key. It was a little early. So take a look and a listen to this interview. Let me make sure I have it. This interview with Justin Chon from Blue Bayou. Yes. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Carla.
Good to see you. You know, the last time we talked was for Gook, and that's been a minute. But
it's been a minute, yeah.
It's been a minute, but I'm so proud of you because I knew then that you were gonna like tear it up. And I think I told you then too. I knew you were gonna do some great things. And what I really love is the fact that you're telling this story from a Korean American point of view. And I'm glad that it's you telling the story as opposed to someone else. You understand what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you taking pride in the importance of telling stories from a Korean perspective. So thank you. Thank you for that. What was it like to find out about all of these people that thought that they were American citizens and found out that they had to be deported? And what made you feel so strongly that you wanted to share this story with the masses?
Yeah, I was absolutely shocked. You know, I'm friends with a lot of adoptees, and I just couldn't believe that you could be brought to this country as a child and had no say in that choice. And then, you know, for 20, 30 years to pass and find out that some loophole paperwork doesn't make you an American, even though you're adopted by American citizens. I just don't think it's right. You know, I feel that the government should take care of children that come and you know, there's no way as a child you can know that you have to go through this process of you know, this proper way of naturalizing yourself. I think it should be automatic. And there is a Child Citizenship Act of 2000 that automatically grants citizenship, but it's not retroactive before 2000. I don't know what, that doesn't make sense to me either.
That's bananas. And let's talk about this tattoo artist situation. How much did you know about tattooing before you started doing the film?
You know, I mean, you know, I had a handful of tattoos. I had a tattoo on my left side that I got when I was like 17, 18. And I didn't really care about it anyway. So I was going to get covered up. So I went and got a full new chest piece, and I just had him do the outline and it stopped. So it looked really like half done. But, you know, I asked him tons of questions, and then I did my own research and, you know, learned how to hold a tattoo gun, how it worked. But you know, I mean, you know, also like the dude, Ace B, that plays my friend in the film, he plays Q. he also, is a tattoo artist, and he told me, he just made sure that I got everything right.
Oh, well, you did get everything right, including the casting of Sydney and Lyndon Pham, because they were fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I appreciate you so much for that. That is my time. Oh, I wish I could talk to you longer. But good luck with the film. I loved it. I boo-hoo-hoo. That last moment, honey, that last moment wore me the hell out. And I'm not going to say what it is because I won't ruin it. But that last moment, it wore me down to a frazzle. So that means you are a tabulous filmmaker.
Thank you so much, Carla. I appreciate you.
Yeah, dude, I got you. All right, I'll see you next time. And I do have you, Justin Chon. I mean that all the way down to my marrow. So before I talk a little bit about Blue Bayou and the rest of the TIFF festival, let's listen to this interview with Alicia Vikander, who is Justin's leading lady in Blue Bayou. I love all of the roles that you do so very much, because it's always rooted in a woman who is strong and is fighting for someone else other than herself. So I wanted to tell you that right off the bat. And then, of course, I'm a huge fan. And I wanted to know, what was the most shocking thing that you learned doing this role in regards to deportees who thought that they were citizens?
Well, to be honest, when I read the script the first time, I think I ended the last page, and I think I picked up my phone and I just started to Google, because for me, I was like, but this can't be accurate. I mean, I wasn't aware of this issue, and it's not only an American issue. There's a situation issue. That so many thousands of adopted children have gone through around the world. So they're legally adopted into a country and grow up there and spend their entire life there. And somehow, I mean, the law has now changed in America. Now, if you are adopted legal and you land on American soil, you're an American citizen. But back in the 80s, if the right paperwork wasn't filed, there's a loophole, and a government could actually choose to deport a person later on in life when they have families, even children, which is absolutely, crazy to me. But this is the reality. And I was, in one way, very happy that Justin, through this film, shined a light upon this issue. And I feel like I've learned a lot. I've got to, hear a lot of, personal stories from these people.
I love Justin. I'm a huge fan of his work, and I've spoken to him numerous times. So I'm excited to speak with him again today. Yeah. But girl, just to lighten this up before we get up out of here, I was doing some research on you and found out that you were a dancer. You're a trained dancer.
Yeah.
And you did some kind of.
I love to dance.
Girl, me too. I used to dance too. And did you do some kind of leapfrog thing on the Tonight Show or something?
Oh, that is a very that is like, I mean, it's strange. It's a bit weird, but you can even go online and YouTube I've been in New York when it's called Midsummer. It's like the biggest holiday in Sweden. It's probably bigger than New Year's in Sweden, but it's cool because it's non-religious, but it's like a pagan thing. So anyone can like do it. And what we do is we dance like frogs around this maypole. And I've been in New York, and I went to like in Central Park, we were like 4,000 Swedes who did that dance. So it's a real thing.
That is hilarious. I kind of love you for that. It gives me a whole new appreciation for your art.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like any people can do it, whatever religion you have, you just meet up and you do the frog dance and everyone's happy. Brings people together.
Well, that's my time. Thank you so very much. And good luck with the film. It's absolutely fantabulous. I loved it.
Oh, thank you so much. Take care.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
You too. Bye. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Blue Bayou, which was also one of the films that played during TIFF, I believe. So this movie takes place in New Orleans. It deals with a Korean American young man who is in an interracial marriage, and he finds out through a series of events, really short series of events, that the people that adopted him did not go through the process of making him an American citizen. So he is about to be deported. and they get a lawyer, and it kind of doesn't work out, and it's that whole journey is really quite interesting. And along the way, he meets this woman who is going through her own journey. She has cancer and she's dying. She's played beautifully by Lindan Pham. But you guys, the film is it's a really interesting commentary on the adoption process in America and immigration, and how those two departments don't necessarily work in tandem with each other, and how there's all these loopholes that allow people to fall through the cracks. And to this day, there are hundreds of thousands of people who are walking around from other countries thinking that they are American citizens and are not. So Blue Bayou is a great message and a great film to hammer that message home. It is produced by Focus Features, and it is in theaters. I believe it's in theaters only right now, but it will be streaming soon. And I'll let you know when that's going to happen. So let me talk about these TIFF things before we get to Miss Jessica Chastain. And her film also played at TIFF, and she was one of the TIFF Tribute Award winner recipients. So I saw a bunch of documentaries. You know, documentaries are my jam. I saw Dionne Warwick, Don't Make Me Over. Learned a bunch of stuff about Miss Dionne Warwick. Mostly, I learned that she had like a little council at her house with some rappers, including Snoop Dogg, basically telling them y'all can do better. I kind of love her. It was like the elder telling the young folks, look, y'all need to get it together. But she was also the first Black woman to hit the pop charts with her songs from I think was Do You Know the Way to San Jose, which was written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David, which she collaborated with them for decades. And then she is a huge AIDS activist. And that song that she did with Stevie Wonder, Elton John, and Gladys Knight, that's what Friends of Four made millions and millions of dollars that went toward the eradication of, or at least trying to get medicine for people that were diagnosed with the AIDS virus. So it was a really interesting watch. Jagged is the title of, is a adjuncted title of Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette's really popular album. And there was some drama that went down this week. When the film hit TIFF, Alanis Morissette was not happy with the film, and she kind of took the director to task in public. So that's still evolving. Listening to Kenny G is another documentary that I saw, and it deals with the fans of Kenny G. Evidently, he has some very polarizing fans, but I did not know that Kenny G played golf. I did not know that his fans were so polarizing. I did know that he was one of the founding people for Starbucks, one of the founding investors in Starbucks. That I did know, but I also didn't realize just how intricate of a musician he is. I know all musicians are very intricate and serious about their work, but I didn't realize the extent to which he was serious about his work. So I really enjoyed that. I saw a film called I'm Your Man, which I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to save that one for next week because I have Dan Stevens from that film, and we're going to chat a little bit about his character in that film. I saw The Gravedigger's Wife, which was amazing. It was about this man who literally is a gravedigger, and his wife is dying from cancer, and all the things that he's going through to try to save her. Oh, it broke my heart. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful film. Violet, which is Justine Bateman's feature film directorial debut, starring Olivia Munn. And Olivia Munn just announced that she's having a little nugget. So congratulations, Olivia. Violet is a great movie. It talks about those inner demons, those inner voices that we have to tell us that we're not good enough and make us question ourselves all the time. So I really kind of love that one. The Mad Women's Ball was another one that I loved. I'll talk about that one a little later on. I saw a documentary about jazz great Oscar Peterson. He's from Canada. I did not know Oscar Peterson was from Canada, and I did not know that the Sea Jam Blues was associated with him. Like, I've heard that tune a million times, but did not realize it was Oscar Peterson, which now brings me to the Eyes of Tammy Faye. Tammy Faye Bakker was a cultural and pop icon. She came from PTL, praise the Lord, Heritage USA, along with her husband, Jim Bakker. And they were fabulous until they weren't. So, but Jessica Chastain's performance in this film is the sole reason you should see the film. She is on fire in this film. She really does Tammy Faye Bakker. She does her proud. So take a look and a listen to this interview with Miss Jessica Chastain, who plays Tammy Faye Bakker in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Uh-oh. Well, girl, let me just start this out. And I mean this in the best possible way. I've seen literally every movie you've ever done, and you're kind of like the Lon Chaney of actresses to me, because no matter what film you're in, 3/4 of the time I don't know it's you, right?
No.
And I feel like in this film, there's a couple where I know it's you, but I feel like in this film in particular, it took me a minute. I was like, okay. And I have a history with PTL. I used to be a publicist, and I represented BB and CC Winans when they were shortly after they left PTL and embarked upon a recording career. But having said all of that, I know that you are starring in this and you produced it. Why did it take, and I think you said you developed it for 10 years. Why did it take so long to get developed?
Well, I'd never done this before. It
Oh.
was like a whole new
That part.
yeah, that part. I was like, how do I learn how to do this? I've produced before, but not from like the very beginning. I saw the documentary about a decade ago, and then I said, okay, I want to make this movie. I called my manager and my agent, and I was like, can I buy the rights? And then I met with the filmmakers and I bought them. And then I'm like, who am I going to partner with? So it literally was, and then hiring the writer, deciding which story to tell, the outlines, all the iterations of that, and then going to the studio system to get it made. All of that took a lot of time. But I was thankful for it because it helped me with I had a lot of prep on this movie, boy, oh boy. So it really
you did.
helped me. Yeah.
Did that makeup jack up your face?
No, thank God. I was very lucky to work with the best hair and makeup and prosthetics team, and they took very good care of me.
You looked a lot like her in some instances. Now, is that you singing or are you lip syncing? Is that you singing?
That's me singing.
Get it, girl. You did a great job.
Oh my God. I was so stressed out. I cannot tell you. I was living off of throat coat tea with a little shot of bourbon inside.
I'm not mad at you for that bourbon.
No, you need it sometimes. You need it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And okay, can we just talk about, I just have to bring this up because it's just so yummy. That moment that you had on the red carpet with Oscar Isaac. I'm like, I was
love
living
that you went
for
from
that.
bourbon to Oscar Isaac.
Yes, honey. We have to. We have to. That was lovely. Were you having way too much fun in that moment? Because the slow motion version of that that's living on the internet is giving me life.
I know. I mean, the funny thing is the reaction to that moment is like so beyond what that moment actually was, but it makes me happy. It makes, because I love him. We've been friends for more than half of our lives. And I think we've all been locked in our houses with this pandemic, and we just long to like hug and touch people again. And perhaps that's why everyone's watching that video and they're like, okay. Because the reality is we love each other. We've been friends for so long. There is love there. And I'm a cuddle bug. And I cuddle with Annie Hathaway. I cuddle with everyone that I'm around that are my friends. And so hopefully we'll all be out of this quarantine mask situation soon. And then everyone's arms are going to be wrapped around each other.
Absolutely. Well, it was nice to see a strong woman like yourself take on Tammy Faye Baker, who was a strong woman in her own right, very unconventional, but strong nevertheless. So thank you. And thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
I love talking with you. Thank you.
All right. Bye, girl.
Bye.
And I love talking with you too, Miss Jessica Chastain. So you guys check out The Eyes of Tammy Faye. It is produced by Searchlight Pictures. It's a good Jessica. I'm telling you, you need to just check out Jessica Chastain. And Andrew Garfield is playing Jim Baker. So let me just say that. But let me address some things because Brandon keeps me in the know when it comes to animated stuff. So he says that he is the October movies that he's looking forward to are Venom, Addams Family 2, and Ron's Gone Wrong. I got you on Ron's Gone Wrong. I got you on Addams Family 2. Horror is not my thing, so I'm not gonna have you on Venom. And then he also says that he is looking forward to the Star Wars Visions. And I'm looking forward to that too, because I'm secretly a little geek when it comes to the Star Wars situation. I kind of love me some Star Wars. I really, really do. But y'all hold up, wait a minute. I got some stuff for you next week. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Hold on, I lost my place for a second. Give me a minute. Oh no. See, that's what happens when you're doing stuff by yourself. I lost my place for a second. Okay, here we go. Where is it? Okay, there. Oh, there it is. Okay. So hold up. Wait a minute, y'all. This is who I got for you next week. I have the fantabulous cast members of The Many Saints and Newarks. If you are a Sopranos fan, The Sopranos that starred James Gandolfini, you are going to love these interviews because I have his son, Michael Gandolfini. I have my boy, Leslie Odom Jr., Alessandro Nivola, Michaela De Rossi, and Ray Liotta. They coming at you next week on The Curvy Critic with Carla Renata. I also have Andy McDowell and her mother, her daughter, Margaret Qualley, and Anika Noni Rose and Nick Robinson from this really interesting series that is going to be streaming on Netflix called Made. And I'm going to talk to Dan Stevens, like I said, from I'm Your Man. I got all of that for you next week. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. So thank you. I know y'all are seeing this. Some of you are seeing it in real time. Some of you are seeing it after the fact. But thank you so much, regardless of what the situation is. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, please, please give me a big thumbs up to let me know that you were here, because I don't know you roll through if you don't give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell for notifications so that you know when I'm going live, if I got a tape show, and who's going to be on the show, because you might see some people like, Jessica Chastain, Leslie Odom Jr., Justin Chon, Alicia Vikander, and, a plethora, Melissa McCarthy. And I want to thank all of them for being here today. I really, really appreciated it. So until the next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Wash them hands. Stay safe. And I'll see you on the flip side, baby. Bye-bye.